There we go. There we go. How's that? Yeah. Hi, everybody. Is it still no sound? Somebody tell me when my sound comes on. How about now? Yeah, okay. Now we're good? Better? Can you actually hear me? Okay, I am good. Okay. I was just saying that I feel bad for the cancer. It's a terrible place to live in Pambondi. It's a horrible. Allegedly there is sound. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. And I will look at my email. I swear to God. I swear to God, at one point I will look at my email. I have a lot of email because of my work, so I look at a lot of emails. Thought I'd get on here and hang out with you guys for a minute. Watch some videos and stuff. How's everybody tonight? Allegedly, how is everybody tonight? I just had tacos. They were delicious. Just in case you guys need to know that. I made a video for my Canadian fans. I can hear you chewing that fucking ice, but it's not nice. Totally not nice. Sorry, the mic is like... I don't know why, but my mic all of a sudden is like hyper sensitive. It like picks up everything. Like the stream we did the other day, the dogs were probably 4 or 5 feet away from me, eating, as I see my dogs go running through the yard, eating their dog food, and I could hear them chewing it so loud. So loud. And now they're barking. No bark! They see deer. They see deer. They catch that deer. It's going to be a bad day for them. It's going to be a really, really bad day for them if they catch that deer. All right, what's going on? Let's see. Let's watch some videos. How do I? There's just not enough room. I have 3 monitors now, and yet I still do not have enough monitors. We're bringing this over here. Okay, we're gonna put this over here. There we go. All right. Maybe we'll watch something on Pam Bondi having cancer. It's a good moment in our lives. Maybe Trump will get cancer. We can say that, right? Like, I don't go to prison for saying Trump might get cancer. Like, those are facts of life. That's not like a threat against the president. That's just natural selection, correct? Hey! Calm it down. They can see me through the window. They're staring at me. And back to fighting. Yep, back to fighting. Currently, it's not illegal to say that hopefully Trump gets cancer. I've been wallowing this in the cesspit known as my comment section on my videos and talking to Trump supporters and making fun of them and telling them they're aggressively gullible. It's been a while since I've done that. It's a dirty place down there. All right, let's see. Let's go to me in the news. Me in the news. News. Nope, that's not it. That's the chat. Live stream YouTube to YouTube, Google Chrome. Yeah, I know how to do this still. I know what I'm doing. I swear. Recipes Barney Frank. Images expand to fill the monitor is available. I don't like that. I don't like when it does that. Didn't Barney Frank say something dumb though right before he died? Like I know Barney Frank did good things, but didn't he say something kind of semi dumb right before he died? I might be mixing him up with somebody else. It could be. I wanted to watch some stuff here, so let's watch this right here. Let's watch
Trump doing a lot of like stock purchases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He's made a fortune. He's made a fortune in this
They made
term.
a settlement.
Remember, these are the same people that are super mad about Nancy Pelosi, which, like, I'm right there with them. I'm like, yeah, that's bad. Nancy Pelosi shouldn't make billions of dollars off of insider trading. But the thing is I have a moral consistency, and that means that, you know, if they're a Democrat, that means it's bad that they do insider trading, and it's bad if it's Trump as well, which these people seem to legit not have that.
With the IRS, I think that's why a lot of it came out recently. But like, he can't be charged with anything or.
The latest thing is that he and his kids and his company cannot be audited.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. Yeah.
How did that?
That's my settlement.
What was the settlement? What was the IRS being sued for? What was the accusation?
The leak of his.
Imagine these dipshits can wrap their mind around the fact that a sitting president is suing his own IRS for leaking his taxes and then settling with himself. Imagine if they could wrap their mind around that. Imagine how angry they'd be if they actually were smart enough to understand that.
His tax returns.
In the U.S. is forever barred and precluded from examining or prosecuting Trump, his sons, and the Trump Organization's current tax filings, according to one-page document released Tuesday. That is so crazy. Imagine like somebody accused you of murder, and it turns out you weren't guilty of that murder, and then you sue them, and you go, you can never...
You like how he worded that? You like how he worded, it turns out you were not guilty of that murder, as though Trump was not guilty, that as though there was even a crime that was being he was being accused of. He's fucking insane. Even in the way that he words it, he's defending him. That's
prosecute
insane.
me for murder again, and then like, you just go straight Uday Hussein.
Yeah, and they're like, it's cool.
It was quietly added to the original settlement establishing a $1.8 billion fund to compensate people who Trump thinks were improperly investigated by the government.
The January 6th fund, I believe.
Yeah.
They're paying for all of their legal fees.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But $1.8 billion is probably more.
Like, listen to him just like gloss over the fact. Listen to him gloss over the fact that Donald Trump literally is trying to make it so the IRS can never, ever audit his whole, not just him, but his whole family. And they just gloss over that. That's the insanity of being a Trump supporter. Like, there is something that is like directly right in front of your face. Something that should make you feel as though like this is just insanity, that this isn't reality. It can't be real. There's no way that this is actually happening. And you just look right past it and just start making jokes about other things surrounding it. This is insane.
More than their legal fees, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's also going to be for like, I was
compensation.
Yeah.
So do they get compensated?
That depends.
They're all filing, making claims.
Are they?
Yeah, well, a lot of them are making claims.
Trump doing a lot.
Jesus Christ. Imagine if Joe Rogan from 15 years ago saw Joe Rogan now. Joe Rogan from 15 years ago would be going, this guy's an idiot. This guy's actually pretty dumb. I can't believe that. I saw a funny video of Professor Dave the other day, where Professor Dave was talking about trying to get on one of these broadcasts. And he played a clip of, I forgot who the guest was, but Joe Rogan talking to the guest, and the guest was like, you know who this Professor Dave guy is? He goes on these shows and like he debates like flat earthers, and he went on and debated this one hip hop artist. I forgot his name, Lord Farquaad, or is that's the dude from Shrek, isn't it? I think that's the dude from Shrek. But this rapper, and he debates this rapper on flat earth, and Joe Rogan goes, that guy's really doing good work. He doesn't know it, but he's doing the Lord's work. And Professor Dave goes, only if Joe Rogan knows how much I shit on him. Oh, good times. Oh, one day, guys. What's happening, Mark? How you doing? Sorry our president is treating y'all like shit. Yeah, really sorry for that. Ugh. I was just saying, how crazy is it that Trump is currently literally putting the entire world through a bunch of shit. It's not just like America has to deal with this, but like everybody's gas prices are going up. Everybody's like, cost of living is going up. And it's all because Donald Trump is an idiot. And the people that voted for him are not very smart either. Let's see what else we got here. We're doing way much better than your president expected. Yeah. Trump definitely thought he was going to do something here. And the only thing he did was make it worse for Americans. Let's see what else we got here. Let's I wanted to watch another video on here too. Let's go back here. Where was the one I was looking at? Joe Rogan spreads his cheeks for Epstein class billionaire criminal. Kyle Kalinski's title game is on point right now. I'm not going to bring up the video I saw the other day because my wife's sitting over there and she will come over here and choke me to death. But There is a video on Kyle Kalinski's channel that is absolutely insanity, and the title to it is even more insane. But Kyle Kalinski's title game is definitely on point right now. Joe Rogan spreads his cheeks for Epstein-class billionaire criminal. Those are so many keywords. So many good keywords there. Let's see. Let's watch it. Let's watch Kyle talk about this for a minute. I wonder, do I have my A blocker going on?
So Joe Rogan, ladies and gentlemen,
do.
is completely and utterly washed in possibly the most humiliating fashion I've ever seen. Man went from the mountaintop of podcasting to still gets decent numbers, but definitely has slipped. And now, I mean, he's basically just like...
Okay, Kyle Kalinski's background, pretty fire now. The books are beautiful. I'm having book envy, to be honest with you. Just looking back there and seeing all that books, it makes me feel like a small man. Just throwing it out there.
Like Sean Hannity. Like, he's like Sean Hannity. He's like Rush Limbaugh. He's like Bill O'Reilly. Like, it's so boring. Every day, it's like, let me have on some other right-wing asshole or Trump insider or fucking billionaire douchebag or, AI dipshit. And it's
dipshit.
insufferable. It's impossible to watch now. And more people are catching on to that fact. So let's watch this video here. This is from Podcast Cringe. Shout out to Podcast Cringe. And the title is, Joe Rogan is a billionaire puppet. I agree. In fact, they have like 7 different billionaires now? And by the way, he allows these people on and just lets them fucking run roughshod, lie relentlessly, talk about how my taxes need to be lowered and everybody needs to give me subsidies. Elon Musk getting $38 billion from U.S. taxpayers to make a dozen rockets explode in front of our faces. Okay, his best friend, Elon's his bestie. So here we go. He had on Mark Andreessen, who's like one of the worst billionaire assholes that's out there. And here's their conversation.
I'm pretty sure Mark Andreessen's the guy who's behind the Forever California thing too, right? Like, he's the one that's trying to buy up all that land and create I want to say it's a city that butts right up against an Air Force base. I want to say, because I believe they want to manufacture things for the military. I could be wrong about that, but you can look that up. I think More Perfect Union has a video on that.
I guarantee you, 100%, there's a group of people listening to this right now saying, "Oh, Andreessen's a shill.
Because he is.
Rogan's shilling for Flock. This is what they're doing. They're trying to get to the mass surveillance."
Oh, Flock. What the Flock? I was just saying this the other day. I was saying, how crazy is it? How crazy is it that conservatives went from being the people that don't like to get their ID scanned for alcohol? How crazy is it that those people, the people that were concerned about the phones in their pocket, the people that are concerned about all of these, the people watching him, and the conservative, well, it is the conservative, that's a Freudian slip, the conservative surveillance state, all these people that are so worried about getting their information stolen and everything are now legit saying things like, if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to hide. All the comments on, there's a local post up here about all these Flock cameras that are being installed. And all of the people that are pro the cameras being installed and being a part are all people that wear MAGA hats, that have conservative profiles. And they're all saying, if you're doing nothing wrong, brother, there's nothing wrong with those cameras being up. You shouldn't be concerned unless you're doing something bad. These are the same people that talked about China's people credit score, the social credit score and all of that stuff, and now all of a sudden they are 100% okay with anything being recorded. They don't care anymore. This is insane. It's insane to watch people just go from believing one thing to believing another so quickly.
This idea that it's easy to become a billionaire and that these billionaires somehow or another are the problem because they're not paying their fair share is so weird that's a narrative that actually gets pushed through.
He's such a piece.
How did Rogan go from Bernie to Trump? I tell people that, you guys have heard me say this before on the show, where I'll say there's people that used to be Bernie supporters that are now Trump supporters. And people will be like, no, that's not true. That's not true. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Joe Rogan is the perfect example. A guy who went from literally stumping for Bernie to being a Trump shill. It's insane. What was that guy's name right before the election? God damn it. That guy used to watch a show all the time. I used to talk to him in the chat, and he said he'd vote for Kamala, and he'd hate me if Kamala turned out to be terrible. Turns out I don't have to worry about that because Trump got elected, and Trump is fucking terrible. So I guess I win that one. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good at all. But God, what was that guy's name? But he was one of the guys. He was like, no, like, there's no way that people went from like liking Bernie to then liking Trump. But what it is they're all just like bitter, angry people. I mean, that's what it comes down to is all of these people. When you look at their comments, when you look at the things they talk about, they're bitter, they're angry, they're fearful, they're hateful, and that goes along with the people that feel like they got screwed over by what happened with Bernie. And I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. Like, I think that, people have a right to be upset about what happened with Bernie during, both Biden's election and with Hillary's election. You should be pissed off about that, but you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You don't like fucking take all of your moral beliefs and just throw them out and be like, now I'm just, all about revenge and hatefulness. And that's what these people have done. That's fucking Rogan's just shilling because his whole audience loves that shit. And they're literally the spurned Bernie bros now.
Of shit, because in the past,
brain damage like Fetterman. Dan, you took the words right out of my mouth. I felt bad. Right before I took my break, I made a joke about that robot fucking taking a spill, and I said, oh, he pulled a Fetterman. Because Fetterman had just ate shit on the sidewalk. And people were like, that's fucked up. I don't feel bad anymore. Fetterman is a piece of dog shit. For people out there that are like, the left doesn't call out the left, Fetterman is a piece of dog shit. He is a piece of dog shit, and he should be voted out as soon as possible. I think it's 2028. If you guys can figure out a way to get that motherfucker out of there quicker, please do so.
Last he argued for higher taxes on the rich.
No, I did
now
not see
he's
that
worth
come
shit.
front.
Definitely over $100 million. And now all of a sudden, it's the opposite. Now, it's so weird. How dare you argue for higher taxes on the rich? Yeah, how dare you argue for higher taxes on the rich at a time when we have...
Yeah, he's rich. You should watch that video. I think I showed you guys this last time I popped on here from Barry's Economics that talks about there's studies that show that people that when they become rich, when they've had money for a significant amount of time, that they start to lose touch with reality and start to lose touch with what it's like to be just like a normal and everyday person. And I 100% believe that's something that like happened to Joe Rogan.
Worse than the Gilded Age levels of income and wealth inequality. When the bottom 80% of America has just 7% of the wealth. How dare you advocate for higher taxes on the rich? What a sick, sick joke this is. What a sick joke. And he's argued on the show with a straight face for higher taxes on the rich in the past. He sits across from Bernie Sanders and agrees with Bernie Sanders and most of the shit that Bernie says. Then he cuts to a conversation with a billionaire, and all of a sudden, he's Mr. Richie.
Yeah, and that just shows like how weirdly malleable Joe Rogan is, because he's saying that he sits across from Bernie Sanders and will like agree with Bernie Sanders about taxing the rich and all these things. The thing about that is like if he brings Bernie Sanders on his show tomorrow, he'll literally do that. He'll sit across from Bernie Sanders and agree with everything that Bernie Sanders says. He'll say that like, taxing the rich is right. Universal health care is right. Like we need to do something about like helping the middle class out. All of those things. He'll like sit there and agree with him over and over again. And then literally like 24 hours later, he'll have Mark Andreessen or he'll have Elon Musk on his show. And they'll both fucking sit there and talk about how they don't deserve to be taxed. And he'll go, that's crazy. It's just crazy that they think that, like you guys will just like pretty much just leave. I mean, if you guys, get taxed, like people would just like leave and then there'd be no jobs because really, the rich people, they like provide everything for us. Like that just shows, how easily manipulated. It's like he doesn't have a fucking like moral foundation of his own. It's like everybody he meets changes the way he thinks about everything. And this is why like back when I watched him, like, what was that? Probably like almost 15 years ago now. Like 10 years ago. It was like before COVID. And you bring on Brian Cox, who's like a brilliant physicist, amazing man. I've seen him give a lecture on black holes. You'd have Brian Cox on, and you'd be sitting there going, wow, like Rogan really, he's asking good questions. He's very curious. He would have Ray Kurzweil on. Ray Kurzweil would sit there. Jonathan Haidt, Steven Pinker. He'd have all these guys on, and it really made you feel like, oh, like, okay, Joe Rogan, he's got a brain. And literally, it just depends on who he brings on his show as to what he believes. The man has no personality of his own. He's like a doppelganger.
Rich up there. He's the billionaire fluffer, the billionaire ball coddler. I mean, what a sick joke this is.
Yeah, they make more money than everybody else. Right. you could do that too. It's like this is one of the things that America
Oh my God.
Yeah, chameleon.
really good at.
There you go,
really
my
can
mama.
just
Yeah,
work
chameleon.
20 hours a day and achieve something spectacular.
Yeah.
That is insane. Just work harder. Just take another job. I know people who've worked 2 or 3 jobs and still live at the poverty line or below it.
Yeah, like literally some of the most intelligent people that have ever lived are working jobs like being a garbage man, okay? Like this idea that like Mark Andreessen is some kind of special human being. The only thing special about Mark Andreessen is that he had status and connections that allowed him to make the amount of money that he did. You know, there's some crazy statistic that is something like 5% of all like billionaires actually like made their money and the rest like inherited it. And even the people that like made the money, like you had to be in the right place at the right time. There's more to do with luck in making that much money than ever skill. Like when it comes to trading, like how do you think Trump has 3,700 fucking stock trades in his first like year? Well, wasn't it the first quarter of this year? He had 3,700 trades. Why would you do that? The only time you would ever have 3,700 trades is when you know the stocks that are going up, when you can influence the stocks and make them go up. No one else trades that much, because if you traded that much, you would lose your ass, even if you were a good trader. Even if you spend 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours of your entire fucking day going over the news and charts and learning every single thing you could possibly know about stocks, you still wouldn't make that many trades, because if you did, you would lose your ass. You know who does it? Somebody that can influence the stock market. Somebody that can move the stock market. A person with insider information. That's who. That's how these people are rich. These people aren't rich because they work hard. These people are rich because they have status and connections. Most of these people that are politicians because they have status and connections, because their family has been in politics for fucking millennia. These people aren't self-made. Elon Musk does not deserve your admiration for his work ethic.
Not the harder you work, the further you go. That's not how billionaires make their money. Oh my God. In fact, 60%
Thanks, Melly.
of billionaires come from extreme wealth and
I
privilege.
don't need any Robux,
60%.
though. Thank you, though, Melly.
Born with a silver spoon in their mouth. This is just embarrassing. He's acting like we live in a meritocracy. Are you kidding me? Joe, you think you work harder than, somebody in the fucking coal mines? You deserve to have 100 trillion zillion times more money than they have? What a sick joke.
Yeah, see, that's a good point. Like, and it's so funny because Joe Rogan would have made that argument 10 years ago. Teachers deserve more money, Nurses deserve more money. Police officers deserve more money. All these people deserve more money. And now it's like, no, this, fucking pasty, white, fucking oily skinned snake oil salesman, he's the guy who deserves it because he worked really hard, guys. He worked really hard blowing up fucking billions of dollars in rockets by using government money that probably should be going to feed the homeless or giving people health care. That's the guy that we should admire. That's insane, man.
This is a narrative that gets pushed along democratic socialists, that no one achieves substantial wealth without somehow or another victimizing other people.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's called exploitation.
Yeah.
Extracting the labor surplus value.
Yeah.
Yes, of course that happens.
Jeff Bezos is the obvious counterexample, which is like every time you do the one click and the thing gets delivered to you 2 hours later at the cheapest possible price, saving you and your family a lot of time and money.
And people are dropping dead in his factories.
Yeah, they pee on themselves.
And they're shitting in fucking bags if they're Amazon drivers because they're on the strictest schedule imaginable. Are you kidding me?
Amazon warehouse guys are like fucking dying in the warehouse.
Are they?
Well, I mean, they talk about these work conditions that are sometimes deplorable, right? And then you have the people at the top with like hundreds of billions of dollars.
Spread it around.
Spread it around a little bit, yeah.
Spread it around.
Damn, dude, look at that. That was like fucking 5 months ago. He's literally saying the opposite thing in December of last year. The dude does not have opinions of his own. That is insane.
Seems like
Probably better for everybody if you spread it around. Maybe people wouldn't hate as much.
Oh, what a difference 6 months makes. Welcome to the new Joe Rogan experience, where the billionaires are the good guys, surveillance is for your own protection, and if you're not a fan of either of those things, it's because you're a lazy socialist who doesn't work hard enough. Have you said thank you yet? If you haven't heard, Rogan dedicated the last 10 minutes or so of the latest episode with billionaire Mark Andreessen to clear up the situation with
What a dick writer.
Theo Von. I'll cover that in another video because there's too much to cover here already, but for now, let's just sit back and appreciate how tone-deaf Joe Rogan is after shutting down his buddy Theo Von several times whenever Theo would bring up billionaires influencing politics, mass surveillance, AI technology being used on private citizens.
Why this is like, why do I have to agree with MTG? Why do I have to agree with him? Like, this is like the worst part of this reality, is how I've been forced to say things like Thomas Massey is actually a real Republican, and MTG is based. Still terrible human beings, by the way. Still terrible human beings, but actually have made me have to agree with them. I hate to say this. I'm going to have to say this. How is Theo Von the voice of reason? How is my trailer park people, right? I mean, much love, but not supposed to be the voice of reason. How is Theo Von being, out of everybody in the Joe Rogan sphere, how is Theo Von the one that is breaking the mold? This reality is just, it is fucking ass backwards.
And in wars overseas, Rogan thought the best follow-up would be to invite the exact type of person Theo was warning us about. He's not even hiding it anymore. The man just does not give a fuck. And not only that, in this episode, they
look at that, dude. That dude's an alien. Tell me he's not. That's a conehead. Bro is a conehead. Like, when he was born, his mother tried to squeeze really hard to keep him from coming out. All right? You take one look at that dome. That dome says she was holding on tight, hoping that he would not be born. Like, that is a thin dome, okay? That's egg-shaped. It's not supposed to look like that.
Started the conversation while the intro music was still playing on the topic of how Austin needs to reintroduce AI surveillance drones to reduce crime. Wait for it, from a company that Mark Andreessen owns.
Oh my God. By the way, this guy Mark Andreessen went viral recently for saying, I never do any introspection. I never do it. And he was proud of it. He's proud he never does any introspection. Oh my word. He's also the guy who went on Rogan's show in the past and lied to his audience repeatedly and talked about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau debanking people, when in reality, it protects people from being debanked. And it's
literally was working to help fucking conservatives. Literally was working to help conservatives.
Agency that's basically like the corporate cops, where they make sure a big financial institution doesn't screw you over. And if it does, then they'll help you and they'll fix it. Like, for example, I had some bullshit identity theft protection thing on one of my credit cards, and I was paying $10 or $20 a month or whatever for years, and then I got a check in the mail one day for like $500 or $1,000 or something, and it was because they just lied. They didn't actually have identity theft protection. They were just shaking us down. And it was because of an investigation by the CFPB that did that. This guy was over there trashing that agency. Elon Musk destroyed that agency.
And I missed that agency. Lena Khan was amazing. Lena Khan is one of the best things that happened during the Biden administration. I was just thinking about the other day, we went and purchased a car. And, I was thinking about some of the things that, went through in the negotiations for the car. And, I was thinking about how, like, I'll be honest with you, I am 1,000% a Karen. Okay, if you try to steal money from me, if you sell me a product that does not work, the computer that is down below me here, it was sold to me in not in working condition, and the people that sold it to me tried to act like they weren't going to replace it, and I reported them to the CFPB. I reported them to the BBB. I filed complaints. I went on Amazon and wrote bad reviews, and guess what? I got my shit replaced. They went from, we ain't going to replace it, to, let us send you one in the mail before you even send it back. Let us get it to you as soon as possible. But as a consumer, we need those protections. And I was on my way driving home the other day, and I was like, that sucks. Because if I have this car and something's wrong with it, luckily, I live in the state of California where there's lemon protection laws. But, there's a good chance that there's no resources available to you, or at least less resources, or resources that are harder to come by to do anything about that. And literally, Trump supporters have cheered that on. They have voted to have their own protections as consumers taken away from them. That is moronic. That is the most low IQ bullshit that you can imagine. having your own protections, having your own ability to keep yourself from being scammed, and having your hard-earned money stolen from you. They voted to have that take. They cheered when Lena Khan was removed. They cheered when Doge went through and got rid of the waste, fraud, and corruption because they thought they were going to get a $5,000 check, which, by the way, they've never even sniffed that shit, okay? They didn't get a $50 check. That's how much these people don't like you. Trump doesn't like you so much, he didn't even send you a $50 fucking sorry for your loss card. You're definitely not getting $5,000. And now you don't have a Consumer Financial Protections Bureau either, and you don't have Lena Khan. The only thing stopping the merger right now of Warner Brothers is the fact that they want somebody that will agree that they will change the direction of CNN's reporting. That's the only thing right now that is stopping the merger. Not that it's a merger and it could create a monopoly and that it would be unfair and the competition would be, unfair. No. That's not stopping it. That's not a problem. Monopolies, fucking Peter Thiel said it. Every business should be a monopoly. No, what's stopping the merger is that no one has agreed to make CNN more Trumpy. That's what's stopping the merger right now. That's how insane this shit is.
There are no corporate cops.
What's up,
they can
Christine?
get whatever
What's
the
up,
fuck they want to get away
5
with. Because of the billionaires, because of the Epstein class, because they're criminals. This guy's accused of crimes. These white-collar criminals, they commit fraud like nobody's fucking business. And Rogan has them on, these Epstein-class criminal billionaires, to lie to his audience face.
You seriously could not make this shit up if you tried.
Nope.
Before we get into it, make sure you check out the link in the description to my Patreon. My video on the roast of Kevin Hart is proving to be one of my most popular videos so far, so head over there and have a look if you're interested.
So we were just
Patreon,
talking about this wild crime spree that happened this weekend in Austin. So it seems like was it teenagers that were doing this? Yeah? You're not on the microphone there, fella.
15 and 17 years
15 and 17 years old.
That's terrible.
What was the purpose? Just going crazy?
I think so. Yeah, they stole cars and stole guns and switched cars. And
they shot at like 10 different locations.
At least one person's in critical condition.
Yeah.
They shot multiple people. They had flock cameras in Austin, but then they shut those cameras off for political reasons.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
So please explain that.
Yeah. So these guys are driving around in cars, and they're switching cars, whatever. These guys running around. So there's a system called Flock, which is one of our companies, and what they do is kind of like in the movies. You take all the municipal cameras and traffic cameras and everything, and you feed them into an AI, and the AI is able to first find a license.
Have these motherfuckers never watched Enemy of the State? Will Smith is rolling around in his grave right now. I don't think Will Smith is dead. I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
So this thing is deployed. It's sold to city governments. It's used all over the country. It solves crimes every day. We get reports on carjackings with kids in the backseat, and their lives get saved because they track them down. So a lot of towns and cities have this, and they love it. In cities like Austin, with the intense politics, they run into backlash on privacy and.
Hold on, Mark. You saying they'll take me in Canada? I'm pretty good at running health food stores. You guys need some fucking good health food managers up there? I'm very good at it. I've helped create a multi-million-dollar grocery health food store. If you guys need me, just let me know. I could probably make that work.
And surveillance concerns. And so Austin had Flock and then turned it off. Late breaking news today is these guys drove into some adjacent town, up against Austin, and Flock was live in that town. And so Flock tagged them the minute they drove into that town, and then they caught the guys. Subsequent to that, the mayor, your mayor in Austin, your mayor and your chief of police gave a press conference and said, we really need to rethink this because it's crazy to have the ability to solve crimes and stop crimes and not be able to use it.
So for those of you who don't know, Mark Andreessen co-founded Netscape back in the 90s, cashed out, and then started one of the biggest venture capital firms in the world called Andreessen Horowitz. The firm manages well over $100 billion and has stakes in companies like Meta, Coinbase, and a whole bunch of AI and crypto startups. His personal net worth is somewhere around the $2 billion.
Look at that head. Look at that thing. Is fucking majestic. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Hey, dude, you look like an arrow. Like if you ever were in your car and you were to drive into a lake and you needed to break the window, you could use Mark Andreessen's head. This shit is a fine point right there. If you, dude, you should see this head. My wife is talking about bald people over there. That's harsh. I'm not trying to make fun of the man's baldness. I'm saying this man's head. This man, it's like a toothpick. He looks like if you stuck him in a pencil sharpener, you could use him to like write shit. Like there's definitely lead underneath that. There's definitely a thick lead core.
Mark. And Flock, the company.
Look at that fucking head.
Real. It is real.
Oh, my days.
Did he just start
What on earth? This man is a literal cone head. How is that even possible?
He just flogged on JRE is one of his portfolio companies. It's an AI-powered surveillance system that uses municipal cameras, traffic cameras, license plate readers, and even drones to track vehicles and people in real time.
Literally 1984 mass surveillance, disgusting universal spying network, Patriot Act on steroids. And this is
these are the people that are supposed to hate the Patriot Act. Remember that? Remember when they were these are the people that supported Edward Snowden. Like, am I crazy? Like, these are the people that fucking hated all of this stuff, and now they're like, bro, if you're not doing anything wrong, you shouldn't be worried about it. And they're all doing something wrong. This is like the time that I saw a dude with a Blue Lives Matter sticker on the back of his car get out of his car with a 40 ounce in his hand. Like, brother, you are driving with a half-drank 40. I don't think you support the police. You are confused, sir. They are who? What party? What party is against the surveillance state now? Is there a party? I do see that libertarians are gaining ground, and I feel good about this. I feel really good about this. Libertarians, this is really fun for me to watch because there's all these people now that are going through the same phase that I went through like 15 years ago. There's a bunch of pretty liberal people that are kind of deciding they don't really like the Democratic establishment. They don't like Chuck Schumer. They don't like Hakeem Jeffries. They don't like, the Cory Booker. And they're like, look, this definition of libertarian, this is me. I think this is me. And then you got all these Republicans that are feeling homeless because, Trump has destroyed their party and ass fucked it right in front of them. And they're going, this Thomas Massey guy is actually kind of based. I think I might be a libertarian. I'm like, yeah, we all go through that stage. We all think we're libertarian for about 2 years, and then you go on their forums and you just realize that they're all a bunch of closeted Republicans. So the conservatives, they'll definitely make their way in the Libertarian Party, which is good for us because here, when it comes to all of these Senate races, all these House races, and potentially when it comes to the presidential race in 2028, if that actually happens, that's probably not going to happen. But if it does, if any of these elections happen, you're going to see people that used to be Republican, actual conservatives, not Trump Republicans, that are going to vote for libertarian candidates. And I see all these, I follow a bunch of libertarian websites still, and you see all these libertarians talking about, this is our chance. We're going to put forth our candidates. We're actually going to have a chance to win this time. And I am 100% behind them. I believe that they should do exactly that. I think that they should just crowd the field with libertarians. And when those libertarians still vote from the Republican establishment, we will, thank God, hopefully get somebody that isn't Donald Trump in office. I think it would be amazing. I think it would be great.
Shit, Rogan has railed against in the past. Now he's got a billionaire on his show telling everybody how awesome it is, how awesome mass surveillance is.
It's already being used in a bunch of cities across the US. What I want to know is, did Mark reach out to Rogan after the crime spree over the weekend so he could come and plug his company's technology while it was still fresh? Or was he already booked in and they just happened to lead with that? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he asked Rogan to have him on this week, specifically to talk about how Flock would have prevented what happened, and Rogan just opened up his cheeks and invited him right in.
Facts. 100%. In fact, boom, that's the title of the video.
Wild how, with all the controversy surrounding Rogan's connections and defense of billionaires and politicians over the last 12 months or so, he decides to have a billionaire on the show who owns a mass surveillance AI drone company, and then lets him spend the first 10 minutes of the episode convincing us all how much we need it. And even when Joe tries to bring up a balanced take and acknowledge some of the criticisms of the technology, he lets his billionaire buddy piss in his pocket and completely downplays how dangerous this stuff actually is.
Yeah, so the concern is mass surveillance, right? And the concern is that someone's going to abuse
That's old Joe Rogan right there. He's like, hold on. I feel like there's a part of me that's tucked way deep back in the back of my brain that used to have some common sense, and it's telling me that, hey, this sounds like a bad idea. Can you assure me and make me feel better about this being a good idea?
this and use AI for nefarious purposes, right? Like what nefarious purposes would that be?
By the way, Rogan is buddy with Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel, of course, created Palantir. Palantir has a contract to create a mass blackmail universal surveillance network with the federal government. Okay? And everybody knows about Peter Thiel. Weirdest guy in the world, obsessed with the Antichrist.
Yep.
Deeply anti-human. Where
probably maybe pushed his gay lover out of a window. Just throwing it out there. Allegedly. Okay? Allegedly. I'm not saying he did it. I'm just saying there are people out there that definitely believe that was a possibility of what happened, that his Instagram model boyfriend somehow fell out of a window, Putin style.
He couldn't answer the question if he wants humanity to continue. He wants us to all become like fucking weird human machine cyborgs that we put a chip in our brain, we download our consciousness. It is very, very strange. And meanwhile, as they're doing all this...
And why do I feel like if I do become a weird human machine cyborg thing that Peter Thiel's going to try and fuck me? I feel like that's the kind of shit that gets that guy going. I feel like if I get some like cyber stuff, like some electronical stuff going on, I'm gonna have to watch my back when I'm on the street.
They're creating fucking data centers. They're taking all the fresh water. They're jacking up the electricity prices. They're leading to mass pollution. They're trying to take everybody's job away. They openly say they want to create AI that's going to take your job from you, and they're cutting government benefits at the same time. So you can't go to the government for help. You can't get a job and take care of yourself. What do they want to do with you? And all these people are the people Rogan allows on, and he plays fucking patty cakes with them.
This is a system that could be used in bad ways. So if you had a corrupt, chief of police, and he had some personal entanglement thing, and he wanted to track a, ex whatever, or if you're the mayor.
A corrupt chief of police that would want to track his ex. How about a corrupt president of the United States that wants to persecute his enemies? Does that sound like something that you should be concerned about? It sounds like something that we should be concerned about.
Or wanted to, do this to terrorize your political opponents or whatever.
Is there a blockchain for Flock so you could know who's doing what and how it's happening so someone couldn't abuse it?
Joe Rogan is a moron. Did he just say, is there a blockchain for Flock?
Is it possible to have circumvent that?
Yeah, it could, but this is like the standard. Yes, and this, they log everything, and I'm sure there's records of everything. But
dude, don't worry, there's logs, brother. He said, just trust me, bro.
Look, it's like anything else. It's why cops have to get a warrant before they search somebody's house, right?
Right.
There's always
not under Trump.
They are the cops.
They're very famously going after immigrants and not getting warrants for it. ICE is illegally locking up innocent people, no warrants.
It's a question of
literally killed 2 American citizens. 3, 5, 10, probably 10. Probably we're up to probably 10. We probably just haven't heard about those ones.
What is the legal authority and what are the safeguards to protect this kind of thing?
What a heap of absolute horseshit. We've all seen how Congress and the White House have wiped their asses with every check and balance on their insider trading. They're doing it out in the open now with zero shame. Yep. And this guy wants 100%. Us to believe that the biggest risk with mass surveillance technology is a corrupt politician using it for some personal vendetta. Like, that's the worst scenario that could happen. They conveniently left out the part where any information and data stored and gathered about private citizens can be used to incriminate them in completely unrelated matters. It never ceases to amaze me how much people underestimate the amount of data they already give up on a daily basis cameras that could be used against them as evidence of a crime. Your dash cam, traffic cameras, basic CCTV, even your own text messages, all of that can be subpoenaed by a court and used as evidence against you. Now imagine we had fucking drones with advanced AI mass surveillance tech flying around on top of all that shit. And I'm supposed to sit here and listen to a billionaire who profits from selling this technology tell me it's fine because they keep a log of who accessed the data. Yeah, okay, buddy. I seriously can't believe Rogan is trying to sell this to us. What a sellout.
Oh, what
so there's an older system that's deployed in many cities called ShotSpotter.
What's it called?
It's called ShotSpotter.
ShotSpotter?
ShotSpotter.
ShotSpotter. Oh, ShotSpotter. Like spot someone shooting.
Spot somebody shooting. So ShotSpotter is an older system that works very well. It's deployed in many cities. And what it is, totally different system. What it is they put these precision microphones on top of rooftops all over the city. And then when a gunshot goes off, they're able to instantly triangulate that a gunshot has gone off and specifically...
Oh, sweet. So when cops shoot unarmed black men, we're going to be able to... No, that's not part of it. Oh, okay. That's when the cameras are going to turn off. Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
The gunshot went off. Chicago got so wrapped up on these political issues that they also, not only did they not have Flock, they also turned off their ShotSpotter system voluntarily. And so people now get shot in Chicago and they bleed out on the street and nobody knows and nobody cares.
And what is the argument that they make?
That it is civil libertarian argument, which is all around surveillance and abuse and control and all these things. And like I say, I think that's a very legitimate argument. And then I would say there's like the woke argument, right, which is that
they can't hear police gunfire.
The American criminal justice system is clearly biased. That those will disproportionately affect disadvantaged people in society and disadvantaged groups, and so therefore they are racist.
He knows exactly what buttons to push to make Joe Rogan's idiot brain immediately disarm. All you got to do, say the word woke. Say the word woke once. And he spreads those cheeks like nobody's business, bro. All you gotta do is say the word woke, and he goes, I agree with whatever the fuck you're advocating for. I agree with it.
This guy gets on my nerves. How about the fact that all these companies sell our data for billions of dollars? He's trying to drag us into his culture war argument about racial profiling and targeting minorities, when for years we've allowed social media companies to harvest and sell our data to the highest bidder and make billions in profit off our backs. That's the conversation we should be having, not whether cameras are fucking racist. And don't get me started on how AI models are trained in the data they scrape off the internet. This is exactly why Rogan isn't capable of having these conversations. Yeah. He's so caught up by the fact that a billionaire actually wants to come and talk to him that he doesn't realize he's being used as a mouthpiece. Actually, it's worse than that, because later on in this episode, he openly admits that he's pro-billionaire and that all the criticism they get for hoarding wealth is just lazy haters who can't be asked working 20 hours a day. I'll get to that in a moment.
Rogan in some ways reminds me of my dad. It's like this old white guy syndrome where like all these guys look at Trump. He's a dumb person's idea of a smart person, and he's a poor person's idea of a rich person.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I've said this a bunch of times. You guys have heard me say this on the show before, is that it's the type of thing that like I would encounter when I was younger, growing up where I grew up in a trailer park, where you would say something like, well, Donald Trump's, not really that good of a businessman, or you'd say he's not really that smart. He actually seems dumb to me. And the person would go, oh, he's dumb? Well, how much money you got? And you go, well, I live in a trailer park, so I guess I don't. Yeah, exactly. So maybe he's a smart one, and maybe you're not the smart one. And that's because like poor people, like legitimately, we think of people in this like kind of like ridiculously like fairy tale manner. We think of people that have money as being like people that like did things the right way. That sounds insane, right? Like you would think that when you're poor, you would think that you would look at these people that are, billionaires and stuff like that, and you would say to yourself, like, they've taken advantage of me, they've used my hard work, my family's hard work to as a stepping stool to get to where they are now. You would think that you would look at, your dad, your uncle that worked in factories their whole life or in the mines their whole life and, sacrificed their health. And you would say to yourself, like, oh, this like really sucks that, that we're being taken advantage of. But that's not actually the mentality you have when you're poor. The mentality that you have when you're poor is oftentimes you look at people that are rich and you say like, wow, like these, I could be them if I just work hard enough. And the thing about that is that like that is sinister. It's really insidious because it is a ideology that is actually sold to you as a poor person from these rich people. It is something that these people have created an ideology out of. They have, created a religious fervor amongst the poor. They say to the poor that, if you just worked harder, if you're a Gen Z, if you'd stop eating your avocado toast and drinking your venti coffees, your, Americana Frappuccino, and if you'd just, if you were just better at budgeting, if you just made better decisions financially, if you were, and there's plenty of places where you can talk about where people aren't good with money, where people aren't good at budgeting, that you could say like, hey, like there are definitely ways to save money, but it's never going to make you rich. Like, I've seen people in my comments where I've said, that inflation is going up. It's out of control. PPI is out of control. CPI is out of control. We're about to see a rate hike. Probably going to see 2 rate hikes by the end of the year. The stock market is an illusion. It's probably going to crash. When you look at all these things, I've been saying it for 2 years now. We're going to enter a stagflation period, and it does look like we're going to enter a stagflation period, specifically with the Strait of Hormuz being closed. You say all of these things to people, and they go, well, it's just a good time to buy stocks. Who has the money to buy stocks? Like, I was just looking up statistics today on home ownership, right? Like the percentage of people that own homes. I think it's like 65% of people over the age of 65 own homes, and people that are under 35, it's something like 15 or 20%. And when you think about inflation, you think about rent. You think about the every year your dollar loses 2% of its potency. It's what it's worth, and that's in a good year, right? Like our target is 2%. Right now we're at 3.8%, and the PPI is at 6%. And you say to yourself, like, well, like the smartest thing you can do with your money is put it in home ownership. Well, home ownership right now, mortgages are 6.9% mortgage rates. And as the treasury yields go up, so do interest rates. So treasuries continue to go up. There's no sign that the bond market is screaming uncle right now. Like people are selling off their debt. The Japanese are selling off their debt. Chinese are selling off their debt. Selling off American debt, not off their debt. Selling our debt, which is increasing yield prices. Oh, that means that car loans are going up. That means that housing mortgages are going up. That means that these people can't put their money into hard assets like stocks or like homes or even buying vehicles. And it's like, so you get this fairy tale sold to you that if you're just better with your money, if you're just smarter with your money, if you just worked harder, and then what it creates is these people that they work 60, 70 hours a week for their entire life. And they say things like, since I was 14 years old, I've never worked less than 50 hours a week. And they're super proud of that. And then you look at what they have and you look at how their family struggles and you say, you shouldn't be proud of that. You should be mad. You should be fucking upset. You worked your entire life giving up time with your children, giving up time with your spouse, giving up time away from the things you enjoy, like your hobbies. If you're a musician, you didn't get to play music. If you did all of these things and you did them right and you did everything, and here's this fucking asshole that comes through and says to you, well, if you just stop drinking so much Starbucks, you could be wealthy. That should piss you off. That should fucking infuriate you. You worked your whole life. You were a cog in a machine. You did things the right way. And then some dick comes up to you that probably inherited his money or stole it from somebody else. And he says to you, if you just would have stopped eating avocado toast for breakfast, you'd be a millionaire by now. If you would have just started investing when you were 18 and bought NVIDIA, well, you'd have $2 million right now. If you would have bought Coke when it was $3, if you would have bought Apple like Warren Buffett. That is the most gaslighting bullshit I have ever heard of in my whole entire life. That is insane.
Right, like that's what Trump is.
What's happening, Golf?
The same goes for billionaires in a sense. Like, unintelligent people look at billionaires and they think like, they like import onto them institutional legitimacy. They assume that, like, well, we have to live in a fair system and it's got to be a meritocracy, and that's why they got to the top, because they're the smartest and they're the hardest working. And it is genuinely like a child's view of the world.
Yep.
But that is sincerely the view that Joe Rogan has. And it is embarrassing. And it is humiliating to watch him fucking drool all over himself when he has on these Epstein-class criminals.
Because when Jamie finally pulled up some statistics on how effective this technology actually is, just watch how Rogan plays defense for Mark's company and massages the truth to keep his guest happy.
How Chicago organizers managed to rid the city of ShotSpotter. Controversial police surveillance tech is often inaccurate, according to research that allowed activists to launch a fact-based campaign.
Oh, would you look at that? Shocking. AI's involved and it's inaccurate? Not like
No
we've seen that
way.
with literally every single AI program ever that hallucinates shit non-fucking stop.
And a political model for organizers in other cities. Aha!
Thanks,
they're
Mark.
saying it's
I appreciate you being here. Thanks for stopping in.
88.72% of incidents flagged by ShotSpotter ended with police finding no incidents
That
of gun
ain't
crime. Okay.
But think
right.
But that doesn't mean
Yeah.
the gunshots didn't go off.
Exactly. That doesn't mean anything. Rarely produce evidence of a gun-related crime. That also
Have I
doesn't mean
seen the
anything.
MAGA
Because it just
whisperer?
shows
I'll
that
look it up
gun
after
went
this.
Good old confirmation bias Rogan.
Actually,
Why
we'll
does
watch
he
on
even
to this. This was Mark's right. He's just making me upset. MAGA whisperer. Let's see it. The MAGA whisperer. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is a small guy. All right, you guys know I like this. Is this what we're talking about? Is this what we're talking about? Golf? Because I will definitely do. You know, I like the 13K. That's my style. Vivek Ramaswamy learns he can act white, but racists hate him anyways. Oh, we're gonna watch this. Okay, hold on. I gotta go get another glass of Waterloo here. This is not an endorsement, nor is it financial advice. If you guys stop drinking so much Waterloo, maybe you guys have some money. It's a lot more comfy up here on the top of the house. There's a heater up here. All right. Okay. All right. Golf suggested this guy. This guy's name is the MAGA Whisperer. Which one should I watch? Golf. Which one should I watch? I'm going to watch. Let's watch. Oh, the MAGA Whisperer has been reinstated by YouTube. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had the MAGA Whisperer, and it was burning bright. And you may have paid attention to the fact that we got taken down temporarily.
Temporarily, I've been there too. I got
They blew out
banned.
the flame of the MAGA Whisperer, and they hurt me. So I had to go start a new channel and bring it back up. I hope you guys found it. Anyway, we'll talk about that more later. But anyway, like the Phoenix, ladies and gentlemen, they blew out my candle. They took down my channel. They were supposed to be taking me down for 90 days. Thank goodness they didn't. But no matter what, even though we didn't get back up to 13,300 on the other channel, like the Phoenix, the MAGA Whisperer was able to come back.
We have
rose from
arisen.
ashes. Better luck next time, motherfuckers. We are going to keep doing what we do.
I like it.
Here on the MAGA Whisperer. Let's talk about it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binaries. Welcome back to the MAGA Whisperer. I'm Sean. I was never MAGA, but I was MAGA curious. Hello, folks. Let's see. I don't even know how long it's been now. 10 days, 14 days. I'm not sure. Seems like a lot of time's going by. For those of you who don't know, I usually put out about 3 videos a day.
Holy
usually
shit.
Thursday or Friday through Sunday. I usually do 4 a day. But it depends. I've slowed down a little bit because, well, they shut down my main channel. So I've been continuing, but again, slowing it down. So if you want to see that channel, I will link it or I will put it in the top pinned comment. And that is, for now, it's the backup channel to this one. Okay? That's where I've been ever since day one. They shut me down. I had a backup channel. I went and made one. Okay? And that is Insider Threat or The Insider Threat. I'll make sure that I write it.
We'll have to check that out too.
Plan on changing.
Yeah, you see all the Pez in the background? That is
MAGA
insane.
Whisperer or two or something. So anyway, but here is what happened as I know it.
Let me plug my other channels while I'm here. If the MAGA Whisperer gets to plug his channels, I get to plug mine too. Don't forget to go like and subscribe to the Angry Ginger live clips, and also don't forget to go and like and subscribe to the Angry Ginger funny live clips, where I go and hang out with some of my favorite people in the world, Canadians. I'm gonna be a Canadian. I'm telling you guys, I'm becoming a Canadian. That shit's happening. I'm pretty sure Naughty Nana is gonna, I don't know how it works, but I'm pretty sure she can just adopt me or something like that. I'm gonna definitely be a Canadian pretty soon. That is a whole lot of Pez. That's old people just have this thing, all right? I'm not saying that the MAGA Whisperer here is old, because he's probably the same age as me, and we are young. And we are virile, okay? We are still spry. We are still very, very strong. But old people like to collect stuff. And this looks like this man enjoys collecting Pez dispensers. That's a lot of Pez dispensers.
We will talk a little bit more about this as we go. On this channel, there's a couple of videos.
Is that a new match that defeats the whole Phoenix metaphor? That's true.
I mean, they were silly. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to maybe hold back on shorts, because that juice is not worth the squeeze. There was no
that juice is not worth the
There was no major message. There was nothing really crazy. But anyway, they hit me up for a couple of things. Well, now so I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I did do something wrong. That was my thought. I don't know anything about YouTube. Maybe.
There's little things that get you in trouble. Like I said, I actually got banned. Were you guys? Most of you guys were watching me when I got banned. I think most of you guys are still here. It was because we were watching that video on the Queen of MAGA, a Canadian, by the way. Oh, dude, I need to talk to my Canadian people about her. The woman who claims that she's the Queen of Canada. Have you guys ever seen that lady? Let's see if we can pull that up. Sorry, MAGA Whisperer. I know I'm squirrel. Masaga? Misogynist? God damn. I'm old. I can't type, guys. MAGA Queen of Canada. Have you guys ever seen this lady? Maybe if Mark's still here. Her name is Romana Didulo. She's a QAnon-inspired conspiracy theorist and cult leader who calls herself the Queen of Canada. She's infamous for issuing fake decrees to her tens of thousands of online followers. Tens of thousands, guys. I'm over here with my 30 viewers. All right, this lady has 10,000 followers, guys. Dude, she got these people. I don't know if you guys were there for me. I'm scared to bring her up now, because this is the reason I got my ass banned. Okay, this lady. Let's see if is there a good video of her? That's her right there. Is there a good video of her? She convinced people to change their money over into Trump bucks, and they tried to pay their mortgages and their PG&E and other bills with Trump bucks, and people lost their homes because, of course, they don't. The mortgage companies do not take Trump bucks. Oh, there's so many videos. There used to be not as many of these.
There's a lot of people who are struggling already financially who report on the Telegram channel. I've lost my home. I have the CRA on my back because I'm not paying my taxes. I've had my power and utilities turned off because I stopped paying my bills. Queen Romana.
Damn, how good am I? I didn't even know what this video is about. I clicked it. She's talking about the same thing I'm talking about. Look at that.
Help me, what's going on? So you see a lot of desperation.
Yeah, in her Winnebago.
But then a lot of sort of blind loyalty and allegiance to her nonetheless.
Richmond, Saskatchewan is a tiny prairie town. Population 120. It doesn't have a restaurant or a coffee shop. It doesn't even have a gas station. But what it does have is an abandoned school building. And for a brief, surreal stretch of time, that school became the headquarters of the self-declared Queen of Canada. Her name is Romana Diderot, and she used conspiracy theories to gain hundreds of thousands of followers and to entice Canadians to join her in Saskatchewan. So when the residents of...
With zucchini and tomatoes, that is the worst looking plate that I've ever seen in my life. She literally just went up in that Winnebago, chopped up like 3 zucchinis and dumped a bunch of cherry tomatoes on a plate and was like, here you guys go. Didn't even put no effort in it. Not even bagged lettuce. No croutons. Not some sliced almonds or some cranberries. That is literally just a plate of zucchini and cherry tomatoes. You deserve better, Trump supporters. Like you guys are selling yourself short. Why are you always letting these people do this to you, man?
Some immediately pushed back, while others quietly wondered, could this be the next Waco? What happened next wasn't just a strange story from a small town in Canada.
What's that in Boku?
It was the beginning of a collision between online extremism and everyday life. In her new podcast, The Cult Queen of Canada,
of course she has
Rachel
a podcast.
Brown investigates what happened in Richmond.
Rachel, welcome to Crime Story.
Thanks, Kathleen.
So you have
we'll watch this some other time. We gotta go back to the poor. I literally jumped off the MAGA Whisperer because I got fucking distracted like a ADHD kid here. Welcome with the unofficial Bunker Cat raid. I appreciate you guys.
Maybe I did. I kind of say a lot of shitty stuff. I'm going off again. I know
Me
they don't
too,
like
brother.
talking about Israel,
Me too.
The genocide, and I'm talking about all that stuff. But I thought other people do too. You know, who knows? But then on my other channel, on the second video that I put up, now I've still got this video scheduled to come up on this channel, but I can't play it because it's what got this one got me busted over on the other channel. And now this is how picky or whatever they are. This one got removed. I mean, quickly. And it was Donald Trump's penis. It was a video about Donald Trump's penis based on the information from Stormy Daniels.
I like how he kind of stuttered. Like he knows he did wrong. I'm gonna be honest, you guys know that I got my stuff taken down too. Like, cause I made that video about, remember the AI video of Elon Musk getting his toes sucked by Donald Trump? All I did was share that video. Okay, I did add some 70s porn music to it, but 100% sexual videos involving Donald Trump will get your channel taken down. This channel might get taken down now just because I had that man talking about that on my channel. YouTube very strict on not having videos of Trump doing things inappropriately, which, I mean, that's actually a good rule to have. You should have that rule.
Now, she was on Jimmy Kimmel talking about this. It's not like I had Stormy come in.
Jimmy.
She was on Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel
There's a dog whistle for feet people.
I guess that's what it was. He printed a bunch of mushrooms and was having her pick out which mushroom most closely resembled Donald Trump. And anyway, she was talking about it, talking about his Yeti pubes.
Yeti pubes.
Odd-looking, smaller than average
penis. Smaller than average.
With a mushroom, weird mushroom head and Yeti pubes. That's what she said. Anyway, I just reported it because I'm a reporter. I think you guys want to know, and I try to give you the information you want, so that's what I do.
I'm just a reporter.
I'm too much.
Wait, where are my sunglasses? Hold on.
Primetime TV. They had to take the man down. Well, anyway, there you go.
That's
where we are. So
now we both have sunglasses on.
This is your first time.
This seems appropriate.
You have come to a banger, ladies and gentlemen.
You've come to a banger.
My grand.
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to use different terminology. Okay, you can't You can't talk about Stormy Daniels describing Donald Trump's member as being a mushroom with Yeti pubes that was smaller than average and then call your video a banger. You're going to have to call it something else.
First day back to this channel. I've already put up a couple of videos. So one of you
Marking
guys know,
mushrooms off the grocery list. Cat.
So those are out there. But this will be
I could have lived my entire life without hearing this information.
Also, I will upload this on my other channel on the Insider Threat. Hey, Insider Threat fans, if anybody just knows me from there, please go over to the MAGA Whisperer. That's where most of my good stuff will be. I'm going to figure out.
I'm going to have to go to the Insider Threat.
I think I may do 1 or 2 videos a day on this one.
I don't have a full-on Captain America suit.
Don't know.
Let me ask my wife. Do I have a full-on Captain America suit somewhere?
Yeah, just take all your clothes off.
Nope. That'll get me banned. That'll get me banned for sure. No one's gonna like that. Yeah. Okay. Back to this guy.
And then maybe
extensive pest collection. Redonk. Welcome. You came just in time to see that fucking pest collection. I'm picking out a Snow White in there. It's impressive. I don't think I would ever say that in my entire life. I'd never predict that would ever be words that I would utter in my life, but that is an impressive pest collection. You cannot, I guarantee you, find another pest collection that is as prolific as that one. That's a 10 of 10 pest collection.
Or maybe one that I put up over on the MAGA Whisperer. Just see if I can do it. But the main reason, I'm not trying to get greedy. I never monitor.
Yeah, I do kind of feel, I agree, Bo. I do feel like it looks like he's got a lot of duplicates, and I feel like that's exaggerating the size, as most men do. Okay. His glasses are wrong. You don't like the glasses? My glasses or his glasses? Because I don't want to have to ban you. Because I will ban you, Redonk.
Any of my stuff, I'm doing that, so if they take me down again on one of them, we have a backup. So let's get used to knowing that. The
Redonk, we are in dangerous territory. We are watching a man that has been banned. A man that has been banned watching a man that has been banned.
Anyway,
okay.
If it's your first time here, hi, I'm Sean. I was the MAGA Whisperer. I am the MAGA Whisperer. I'm back, mother effers. Anyway, I spent 31.5 years in the military. All right, I got out of the military. Thought I'd live a nice little comfy retired life, and lo and behold, did my world get turned upside down the day, what? I said, hey, I don't like MAGA anymore. What made me say I don't like MAGA anymore? You may ask. Thank you for asking, says I to you. This is one reason.
Whoa!
I don't like people that treat Donald
we're
Trump
banned. Okay, we're banned. I know Redonk was here when we got banned for watching the Queen of Canada video. Redonk, we were just revisiting the Queen of MAGA Canada edition. You were here when I got in trouble for that. We're getting in trouble for this one.
As Jesus Christ, God Almighty, your Lord and Savior. Okay, JC.
Oh my
JC
God!
Penny, as the
is
Jews
that a cross with rump on it?
Jesus Christ. Did you know that? If you go to Israel, get ready. He's referred to as JC Penny. Like they don't like us. Anyway, I didn't know that. Guess what I don't like? I don't like these Christians. These are KKK Christians. These are KKK Christards. These are morons. These are people who are actually worshiping Donald Trump, like so many of them.
I can't imagine why this guy got banned.
If you're still MAGA and you're supporting him,
I love
you
this
are
guy.
at some level worshiping him. You are. Anyway, in this book, every place it says...
I know we might be the same age, but I would like this guy to be my father.
Lord, the Lord, or God. It now says Donald Trump, or Trump.
I think it might have been spaghetti dough.
That is a problem. Also, the President of the United States, okay, is trying to violate the Constitution. He's already violated the Constitution.
Yeah, tried. I was going to say he's already done that.
President of the United States. He incited an insurrection against his own country. Okay? He sent people to go kill his fucking...
I was just... his vice president. I'll finish that for you there. I was just thinking about this today. You guys, is it... It's the 14th Amendment, right? Article 3, Section 3? 14th Amendment, Section 3, right? That says that you cannot give money to traitors against the United States of America. Like, that was obviously put in after the Civil War, and it was used to keep people from giving any type of restitution to Confederate soldiers, to people like Robert E. Lee. And I was just thinking today, could that not be used if Trump ever gives up the throne? If Trump doesn't like legit just hide in the bunker that he's building underneath the East Ballroom and not allow himself to be removed from the presidency, if he doesn't do that, wouldn't the next president that comes into power, wouldn't he have a case? I'm no lawyer. We're going to need to get Legal Eagle on here. We're going to have to get Pisco or somebody on here. Is it Article 7 of the Sixth Amendment? Sixth Amendment, 7th article? Is that what it is? I thought it was a 14th third. Bo, are you fucking with me? I'm probably wrong. You're probably right. Let's say it's the 7th and 6th. 6-7. 6-7. Okay, sorry. I have children. I'm pretty sure. Would that not be aiding and abetting? Providing comfort to a treasonous, traitorous piece of dog poo? Isn't that against the law? Can't we do that? I just want to throw that out there. I want somebody to research that. Somebody that knows shit better than you're effing with me. Of course you're elfing with me. Of course you're elfing with me. All right. Okay. Didn't I just see Tia? Tia, did I not see you? I swear to God, Tia. Did you disappear? Did anybody else see Tia just a second ago? Oh, there she is. I'm just blind. What's happening, Tia? Hi.
Vice president. And according to this book, he shouldn't be the president of the United States. Okay? Because he incited an insurrection against the Constitution of the United States. And please tell me you don't believe that the election was stolen. Please tell me that you don't believe that. Because if you do, you're a moron. You're an idiot.
Solid.
100%. Why do I say that, you may think? Well, because if you believe that, then you have to believe his story when Trump, and his attorney, Sidney Powell, woman, S-Y-D, N-E-Y, because there's two Sidney Powells that you look if you look them up. Anyway, they went to Fox News, talked to Maria Bartiromo, and said, hey, guess what?
Dude, Sidney Powell? Are we talking about releasing the Kraken? Such a skinny shield. Are you judging the size of that man's shield? It's average, Bo. It's average.
The election was stolen. Here's the evidence. Here's the person that said that the election was stolen. And they read it and they said, hey, guess what? This says it's from an internally decapitated, a headless, no head, time traveler, a person who travels through time. Okay, we know that's not true. All right? We know that's not true. So I can't pretend to believe that. Additionally, Donald Trump, that was my notes. Additionally, Donald Trump says that he wants to do things like take a third term against the Constitution. He's been working towards that shit.
So he's building the bunker, bro.
That he may get a third term, he won't finish the third term. I don't know what they mean by that. I think they mean that they're going to write their congressman, get a strongly worded letter. I don't know. But Donald Trump, be very careful. That's from active duty military. Me, I'm a pacifist.
I was just saying, like, if Trump buries himself in the bunker, if he puts drones on the roof of the ballroom and turrets and fucking builds a moat with sharks with lasers on their heads, okay? You know what Democrats are going to do, right? You know what Democrats are going to do. You're going to have Hakeem Jeffries taking pictures of himself with a baseball bat, okay? And you're going to have Chuck Schumer writing strongly worded emails. Oh, we are so cooked. We are so cooked. Chuck Schumer is going to be out there just one finger, because you know his old ass types with one finger. He's going to be out there just like, you need to come out of the bunker right now. If you don't, we are going to file a lawsuit as the United States versus Donald Trump. Like, that's the most fire the Democrats have. That's like all the fire the Democrats have. Like, there's not gonna. We're lacking manpower. We could use. We could use some fire. You know, Bernie will just start yelling, come out of the bunker, come out of the bunker. I need to tax the billionaires and come out of the bunker. Like, that's what's going to happen. Like, that's what I'm hoping for. Like, let's get Bernie in there. Guys, should we do a poll? We should probably do a poll. Who wins in a boxing match? Let's see. Can I do a poll? Yeah, I'm going to do a poll. Okay. Who wins in boxing, taekwondo? Who wins in a Muay Thai match? No, bare knuckle. Who wins in a, we're going to call it BKFC. Okay, that's bare knuckle fighting championships for those of you that don't know. Who wins in a bare knuckle fighting championship match? Let's throw, I think Bernie wins. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think Bernie has so much pent up anger and aggression that Bernie wins. We'll throw Trump in there. And you know what? We're going to throw a wild card option in there. I'm going to see how you guys feel about this guy. Okay? I'm not even going to say him. I'm just going to put him in there. I'm just going to throw him in there. Boom. All right. You guys tell me. I'm voting Bernie, no matter what. I think that Bernie's about tired of this shit. About tired of it. I'll tell you this right now, Joe Rogan. It's crazy. It's crazy what they're doing. What's happening, Mama? What's going on? You're real tired. Me too. I think this could happen. I think this could happen on the UFC front lawn. I think somebody said this the other day, and I took it a little bit further. There's a felon in the White House. There's gunshots constantly in the neighborhood. People being shot and killed. The White House is a shambles. It's destroyed. There are cars on the lawn. Okay, it's the ghetto. Like literally, the White House is the ghetto now. I grew up in a ghetto. I can tell you guys that this is like the ghetto now. We got felons, gunshots, people wounded, cars being sold off the lawn. And now there's going to people be fighting on the grass out front. This is like legit my childhood. I had no idea that we were coming full circle from the trailer park to the White House. But that is where we're at. You don't know who Thomas Massey is, Bo? Thomas Massey is actually going to be our hero when he steals votes from the Republicans. That's going to be so amazing. Way behind us. So it's good to laugh along with you. What's happening, Ginny? Good to see you. Like the glasses? I'm only wearing glasses because he's wearing glasses. So I said, fuck it, let's go. Trump's got no umph, okay? Zero umph. Who's winning? Bernie Sanders with 82% right now. DJ! What's up, DJ? Yeah, who needs a front yard? You just throw a mattress in the front yard, Etch. Mattress in the front yard. That's how it rolls. Look at that. Right now we're rocking Bernie Sanders at 75. We got Thomas Massey at 25 and Trump at a solid goose egg. Solid goose egg. Zero. Not a single person rooting for Trump to win this boxing match. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's go. Keep voting. We're going to leave that poll up. We're going to leave that poll up because the odds may change. What does Polymarket got it at right now, guys? What does Polymarket got it at? Massey somehow retained his brand. I know. I'm not a conservative. I determined years ago that I'm actually not a libertarian. I did go through my stage of thinking that I was a libertarian. After being on ththose forums for about a year and a half, I realized there's no fucking way. Actually, they're just a bunch of closeted conservatives. But 100%. Got a lot of respect for Thomas Massey not bowing to the Trump regime and just kissing the ring. You know, may not agree with the man's politics, but I do agree with the standing up and saying, nah, I'm not down with this shit. So shout out Thomas Massey. Okay, here, let's watch some other stuff. So, we were watching like fucking depressing stuff. We don't watch too many. This guy was good. Oh, Andrew Yang. We should watch an Andrew Yang video. We got Hank Green over here. I'm liking this much more casual way we're doing this right now. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at Bernie. Look, the AI heard me talking about Bernie Sanders. They're like, here's some Bernie videos for you. Let's watch Adam. I just want you guys to know this, okay? I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy that like constantly talks about how other more famous people once used to hang out with me. I was watching a documentary on my favorite president, Teddy Roosevelt. Okay, that's my boy. Teddy's my boy. Republican, by the way, because back then Republicans were Democrats, and now Democrats are Republicans, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I bet you how many Republican like Trump supporters don't know that Teddy Roosevelt was a Republican? Like they know that Abraham Lincoln was, but they don't know about Teddy. Like because Teddy was like one of the most progressive presidents of all time. Like they would lose their shit if they actually found that out. Like somebody should tell Trump supporters about Teddy and just watch their heads explode. Anyways, I was watching a documentary on Teddy Roosevelt and I saw Clay Risen. Clay Risen was in the Teddy Roosevelt Netflix documentary. I interviewed Clay Risen. You can watch Clay Risen's interview with me on my podcast, Progressive Matters, where we talked about all of the things that are happening right now. We literally talked about all of this, about McCarthyism and Roy Cohn and his connections to Donald Trump. But you can, I got his book right back here. Let's see. See if I can knock over all these books. Here, we should probably go. Let's go Big Me. Let's go Big Ginger. Let's go Big Ginger. The Red Scare. Clay Risen. Buy the book. Read the book. It's a great book. It literally, I mean, it's a little too late now. It's a wee bit too late now. But you can read the book. It literally tells you all the things that are happening right now. How McCarthyism led us to where we are today, and how Roy Cohn was Donald Trump's mentor, and fake news and all that stuff comes from McCarthyism. Anyways, I saw Clay Risen on a Teddy Roosevelt documentary, and I was like, hey, I interviewed that guy. Yeah. And then, you know, people will see Mr. Adam Mockler here on CNN, and they'll go, yeah, you know, that kid's a smart kid. That kid's really doing good work. And I'll go, I interviewed that guy. And literally we talked about how to try to reach your MAGA Republican family members using the Socratic method and such. We were so jaded, naive. Sorry. We were so naive. Now we're jaded. We were so naive at that time. Me and Adam Mockler sitting around talking about how you can reach your MAGA Republican family members. And now Adam Mockler just dunks on Scott Jennings nightly on CNN. But just so you guys know, that's right. I interviewed him. I interviewed a guy that was in a Netflix documentary. I also interviewed David Lipsky, who was played by Jesse Eisenberg. I always say Michael Cera because I get Jesse Eisenberg and Michael Cera mixed up. But I interviewed David Lipsky, who was in a Netflix movie played by Jesse Eisenberg. So, yeah, I'm kind of a big deal. Okay, let's watch Adam Mockler, who's actually somebody.
Republicans are currently getting cooked online for being hypocrites. And
No
the
way.
Democrats baited them so incredibly perfectly. This is a topic that I am very passionate about, so I'm going to jump right in. I want to walk you through perhaps the greatest grilling of Republicans on Twitter in a while. It all started off with a singular post from the official Democrats' Twitter account. They posted this: fired up, ready to go.
Dude, I just got to answer this. Bo. I made that video, Bo, about how all the Trump supporters got scammed because the phone wasn't coming, and all these Trump supporters are like, brother, it's actually coming. Shit, you thought we got duped? We didn't get duped. We about to get our phone. And I was like, yeah, that phone's gonna suck, just so you guys know. That shit isn't even made in America. It's not made in America. People are complaining about the service because apparently you can buy Trump service. Oh, these people, like, I just wish I was just like a morally worse human being. Like, I wish that I was like the Quartering or Laura Loomer or like even Tucker Carlson. Like if I just had the moral foundation of like, you know, Satan, I could make so much money. So much fucking money. Jesus Christ. These people are like, they're literally just like, they'll just throw the dollar bills at your face. Like these people aren't even strippers. They don't smell like coconut or watermelon. They're not dancing to Rick Ross or Little John. They just sit on a fucking microphone and say dumb shit to you, and you just give them all of your money. You're worse than the guy that thinks that the stripper is going home with you. Like Trump supporters, do you know that? Do you understand that even the guy at the strip club that thinks the stripper is going home with him, you know that that guy actually has a better chance than you do? Like, that's so sad.
It's time to take back Texas. And it's a photo of James Tallarico, who is running to be the senator of Texas. He's running against Ken Paxton, a famously weak candidate plagued with scandals.
Okay, hold on. Okay, squirrel. Okay. Man in black roach guy. Okay, tell me that's not Ken Paxton. Okay? Tell me that man right there does not look like Ken Paxton. Guys. Guys, hold on. Striking resemblance, guys. Dude, tell me that dude right there does not look like Ken Paxton. I was like, this motherfucker reminds me of somebody. Let's see, can we get them both up here at the same time? Ken Paxton. I'm not smart enough to be able to do this. Look at that, okay? Look at that, right there and right there. You guys probably can't see my mouse, can you? You guys can never see my mouse. No, you can't. Oh, you can. You can see the highlight. Look at those two pictures. Corporate says, tell me the difference between these two pictures. They are the same. It is the same person. That a roach is going to crawl out of that man's skull. When James Tallarico beats him in the Texas Senate race, a fucking roach is going to crawl out of that man's nose. I'm just telling you guys that right now. Just fucking, that's my prediction, okay? Fucking Professor Jang called the Iran war. I'm calling that Ken Paxton's actually the guy from Men in Black.
Scandal, plagued with fraud, bribery allegations. He's cheated on his wife multiple times, and he got impeached by his own party. We'll get into all of that. But then Stephen Miller responds and says, the Democrats made history in Texas by nominating their first transgender Senate candidate. Now, obviously, that's just Stephen Miller being a...
Dude, if there's one person, this is what's going to get me in trouble right now. This is the one thing that's going to get me in trouble. If there's one person that I could... It used to be Tim Pool. If there's one person that I could put the gloves on, like... just like, you know, whatever Creator Clash or fucking Celebrity Deathmatch or whatever it is. Like, if there was one person I could drag into a ring with me and just fucking slap the dog shit, I'd be Stephen Miller. 100% Stephen Miller. Like I would pass on Trump to put the gloves on with Stephen Miller. 100%. It used to be Tim Pool. Like, at one point or another, I was kind of like, I would like to take Tim Pool's beanie off of his head and then, like, beat him senseless with it. This is how I get banned.
Nasty human being. This is Donald Trump's deputy chief of staff, you know, the bald guy who's always yelling like Hitler for some reason. Then below, we have the Democrats, who then respond again and say, shut up, you ugly fuck. They just fully went for it. They said, shut up, you ugly fuck. It got 10 million views and 135,000 likes within just a few hours. As you can imagine, Republicans online were absolutely furious. Just imagine this. The Republicans who run defense for Donald Trump every single day while he makes fun of people's deaths, while he makes AI memes of Obama, et cetera, they were saying, how dare you?
How dare you?
They were saying the Democrats have now taken us to a new low in politics.
Ooh, that's a good one, Bo.
We are not supposed to make fun of people online. That is beyond the pale in 2026. The Democrats have just taken us to a new low. And then the cooking began. This is the exposing of the double standards that we have needed for so long. So from this post from Stephen Miller, we got many replies, starting with the Democrats saying, shut up, you ugly fuck. Then the Daily Wire, which is the right-wing organization, quote...
Is this different? Does the chat look different? Is that... I used to have it blurred in the... Right? I used to have the video. Let me see. Nah, it wasn't that one. Was it this one? Oh, that's not it. Well, that was bad. This is all your fault, DJ. Was it that? Was that what we used to do? Did we do that? No, that one doesn't have chat. Is it this one? No, it's definitely not that one. Jesus Christ. Wait, was it this one? Okay, I'm messing with stuff midstream here. Not a good idea. I'll mess with it later. DJ.
Tweets to Democrats and says, wow, more love, tolerance, and civility from the Democrats. They're obviously being sarcastic, trying to say that Democrats are vile and vicious or whatever. So I said, fuck off. You guys cheered on Trump as he danced on Mueller's grave, called Tim Walz a retard, posted AI fat-shaming memes of J.B. Pritzker, and then posted AI videos of Obama getting arrested. You created this environment. You do not get to run away now. This is what pisses me off so much about MAGA. And it kind of relates back to the Scott Jennings incident where he got pissed at me. We're playing...
Did you guys see... What did he say? Oh, fuck, dude. I wish I could remember exactly. I'm going to paraphrase what Adam Mockler said. Adam Mockler said something like... Scott Jennings said, I'm a dick, but CNN is willing to show that pussy. And I was like, I said this. I was like, you guys remember when I first started doing this, and people would come in my chat from the left, and they'd be like, we're not like them. Like, don't talk like that. Don't make fun of them. They're mentally ill. You're making fun of crazy people. Like, they just totally oh, don't be like this. Don't be like this. And even like I said, my interview with Adam Mockler, when I had it with him, it was him trying to be like, hey man, we can talk to these guys. We can figure it out. Let's save the union. Let's keep it together. Let's be the adult in the room. And now, and Kyle, by the way, it didn't take him long, and neither Mike from the Humanist Report either. Both of those guys kind of jumped on it pretty quickly. But this now hearing people 100% be like, I'm not going to sit here and let you talk shit to me and call me names and insult me and just completely capitalize on this ability to, burn people, I'm going to fight back. And watching this happen with these guys, it makes me feel so good because it does validate me. It makes me feel like all those people that would come through, they would say no, this is bad. You have to be the adult room. It's the Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high, and was it that Duke Garcia, I think from California, he said, and they go low, we kick them right in the face. It's good to see people standing up for themselves and defending themselves, because I do think that oftentimes people that dabble in the left, people that aren't let's say Democrats or liberals or progressives or Democrat socialists, people that feel that way, sometimes they felt like they wouldn't get defended. They would come over to the left and they would stand up for somebody, and they'd say, hey, you can't call that person this, I'm going to call you back, I'm going to insult you back. And then people on the left would go, whoa, that's not us. We don't do that. And then that person would feel, as though they weren't being defended, as though that they were, being left to fight a fight by themselves against this mob, this lynch mob of conservative Republican dipshits. And seeing people stand up and start to, really actually be infuriated by this, to actually, react in this manner that says I'm not going to take this shit from you. it feels really good. It feels good to see people actually standing up for themselves and also defending people that have similar values. I think that's something that on the left, it didn't feel like it existed. And I think that we're seeing that a lot more now.
On different fields, they get to troll, demean, send personal insults, obfuscate, and never take anything
I don't know
seriously.
that I did make
They're
clips
able to
of that.
go
I
on
should
TV
make clips of that,
and act like
but
we're not at war. They're able to lie about the timelines of the war. They're able to make fun of people personally. And then the moment that we start to fire back in a slightly reciprocal way, they begin to scream and cry as if we have broken some norm. Then it gets worse. Dan McLaughlin, someone who's a Catholic conservative, according to his bio, quote tweets the Democrats saying, "Shut up, you ugly fuck," and says, "Remind me, is this an FDR quote or a JFK quote?" And I responded, "Your bio says Catholic, so remind me, which Bible verse is this from?" And it's the President of the United States tweeting a few months back, quote, "Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. President DJT."
And he's talking
And then
about
Dan
himself,
McLaughlin responded to me with some dumbass shit like, "Wow. So you think that it's okay what the Democrats said?" Like, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care
100%.
what the Democrats said. The Democrats can say whatever they want after Donald Trump has brought us down to the depths of hell in politics. I like what Michelle...
Yeah, you pit fight, dog. Like, that's what you do. Look, I'm from that. I understand it better than most people. You don't get out of where I came from by just constantly allowing people to bully you, constantly allowing people to put you down and hold you back. Yeah, at some points, it's always good to have a very solid, strong moral foundation, and you should always be the person defending yourself, not being the person that goes around and bullies or is overtly aggressive in a way that is inappropriate. But you should definitely defend yourself. And when you have these people that come along and they bully these people, specifically people that have the same moral values as you need to defend them. You need to stand up for them. You need to be strong for them. And, if there isn't this continuity when it comes to that, then you end up with this really scattered and very, hard to defend position. And yeah, when they drag you down in the mud and, they're sticking their thumb in your eye and, fucking pinching your balls and slinging mud in your face, you have to fight in the same manner. You don't get to be the person that says afterwards, you don't get to complain to the refs. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to complain to the refs after you lose the game that the other team was dirty. That's not how real life works. If you're down in the dirt with these people and they're slinging mud in your face, then you better sling it right back, because that's how it works. My kids a long time ago, I told them, I said, they go, if you get in a fight, would you be mad at me if I get in a fight? I said, no, it depends on what it's for. Are you defending yourself, or are you the aggressor? Are you being a bully? If you are, then yeah, I'm mad at you. But if you're defending yourself or you're defending your friends, then that's okay. That's all right. It's okay to defend yourself, to defend your friends. I go, but the one thing to remember is if you're in a fight, you're in a fight. There are no rules. There are no rules. If you get in a fight with somebody, you pull hair, you fucking gouge eyes, you kick in the balls. There are no rules. When it's a fight, it's a fight, and that's something that Democrats need to learn.
Obama said, when they go low, we go high, but that applied more in about 2012. We're now in 2026, and it's no longer time to go high. It's time to mash them exactly where they are until they get a taste of their own medicine. The only language the Republican Party speaks right now is the language of power and bullying, so that's a language that we have to speak until they understand the message. And by the way, if you appreciate the fight that we put up on the Adam Mockler feed and want to help support us, make sure you drop a like. You can also subscribe to help us get to 2.1 million subscribers. We're very, very close, and let's continue. Joe Concha then says, "The official Democrats account, everyone." And I responded by saying, stop being such a pussy. Trump has been using his personal account to send off the most vile, morally repugnant attacks against his political opponents and their family members for years. So stop. I do not want to hear it. Then we get into Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer herself said, This is the official Democrat Party account, tweeting at Stephen Miller.
The biggest snowflakes.
Laura Loomer
dude.
has said the most Islamophobic, insanely racist things out of anybody in American politics. The idea that Laura Loomer has the high ground to call out anybody is insane. And I linked to a post that Donald Trump sent out back in November of 2025, where he said, did Thomas Massie, sometimes referred to as Rand Paul Jr., because of the fact that he always votes against the Republican Party, get married already? Boy, that was quick. No wonder the polls have him at less than 8% chance. Anyway, have a great life, Thomas, in question mark. His wife will soon find out that she's stuck with a loser. This is 2 years after Thomas Massie's wife died, and he remarried somebody that he fell in love with. Donald Trump is saying, is that why he got married already? Just an absolute asshole who will attack people personally, but don't you dare tell Stephen Miller that he's kind of ugly. Don't you dare do that. That's way over the line. Don't you dare put seashells on a beach, but the president can do whatever the hell he wants. MAGA authoritarianism is saying that the president is making jokes when he's making death threats in reality, and that comedians are making death threats when they're actually making jokes. Like, he's got it inversed. They all have it inversed. It got so disgusting.
And that's what Roy Cohn taught him. Like, this is the craziness. And, I was saying this earlier, is that, like, I refuse to engage in, like, this attempt to educate these people. They don't want to be educated. They don't care about your reasoning behind these things. They don't really care. And that's why you see a lot of, like, the Trump supporters not really talking anymore. A lot of them don't have anything to say anymore because they're kind of just like the reality of everything. The gas prices going up, their rent, their energy not being cut in half, their, supposed hero fighting wars that he said he would never get into, and, all of this shit. It's all coming to fruition. And instead of admitting they're wrong, they're just going to slink off into their homes. They're just going to close their doors, shut the blinds, and act like they never, participated in the shit that they did. And they're going to hope that it all blows over. We go back to, what was that? Indecent Bastards, where it's almost like every one of these people needs, some type of fucking white binder paper that says, I voted for Trump, stapled to their forehead. Because every one of these people right now is trying to just slink off into the nether and act like they didn't participate in this. I've said this a couple times now on stream, is I see people that used to have flags all over their houses, people that used to wear, Trump gear everywhere they go. Now, all of a sudden, they're not doing it. They're not doing it because they got cucked, because they got conned. And that's never a good feeling. But there is a good way to go about, like, re-entering society. There is a way to say to people, like, hey, for years I didn't feel like when I was voting Democrat, I was getting what I wanted out of the situation. When I voted for Bernie and Bernie got fucked in the primaries, that upset me. Hey, I was an RFK Jr. supporter, and I just, I felt like he should have got a chance at something, and Trump gave him that chance. But you know what? I was wrong. And you say that, and you get to retain a bit of civility. You get to retain a bit of that common sense response to you, where you say, okay, well, I can see that you can take in information and that you might be willing to be educated to some of these things. So here's my opinion on what you got wrong. And if you can accept that, and that is the punishment, is that you do have to hear that you are wrong, and you do have to hear why people thought you were wrong, then, if you can accept that, then, there's a lot that could be said about where we can move forward with that. But if you're the type of person that is like, 10 toes down, you are sunk cost fallacy into the fact that, like, Donald Trump's your fucking hero and you're going to follow him into the depths of hell, fuck the smell of sulfur. I don't care, kids. Let's get burned together. If that's who you are, then I'm not going to waste my time trying to logic my way into a place where I can help you get out of the situation. You're beyond that. I'm just going to make fun of you. I'm just going to mock you, because mass psychosis, one of the few things that does work on people that are suffering from mass psychosis, and this is proven through studies, is mockery, is satire. It is that if a person feels as though the only response that they're going to get from something is people looking at them and saying, you're a fucking idiot, and there's absolutely no reason I should ever hear anything that you say and believe a single fucking word of it, that those are the people that are going to slink off. And they're just going to be keyboard warriors, and that's it. And, when you see shit like this Katie Miller shit, Stephen Miller shit, the Donald Trump shit, Laura Loomer, all of these people, it's the death throes of this movement. They destroyed the conservative party. There is no conservative party. Republicans are shattered. They're gone. There's nothing left of what used to be a Reagan Republican or a Bush Republican. And, there's something to be said. Maybe that's a good thing. But all that's left is this cult of personality, and it is dying right along with its leader. It is ugly to watch, and it's unfortunate that the entire world is held hostage by Donald Trump and his idiocy and his insanity. And the people that are hanging on to it, like Katie Miller, like Stephen Miller, Elon Musk, and the rest of these dipshits, are going to find out that after this is all said and done, they may not have a brand on their forehead that says they're a Nazi, but everybody's going to treat them like they do. At least the smart people will. And if Democrats are smart, they won't just give in. They won't just say bygones are bygones or water under the bridge. They will remember that the people that took the pain, the people that dealt with the repercussions of these people being in power, want to know that they understand how much pain and suffering that they went through while these people were in power. And if they don't do that, then the Democrats as well are going to find out exactly how upset people can be. Visit the MAGA Whisperer. It's a real boost. Yeah, you guys should all go, and I clicked that for you guys. I'm getting back into it. So I'll start making sure to link these in there. But you guys should definitely go and like the MAGA Whisperer. He seemed like a pretty cool dude. He may only be up for a little bit longer talking about Donald Trump's junk. Tia, you're going to be doing that for a while. I do appreciate you doing that, though. That fucking, first of all, that's good information. Second of all, that really helps my chat numbers. Tulsi Gabbard now gone. There's something that all these people have in common. Do you guys know what it is? All these people? Bo, it's good to see you guys as well. I'm happy you guys are here. Happy you guys hung around and came back. Luck, what's going on, Luck? What's going on? Anyways, we'll let Adam Mockler finish what he's saying, and at one point we'll get back to actually let's get some notes, because I'm pretty close to done here, but let's get one or two more in here. You know what? These are my favorite people. We're gonna watch this. Oh, let's watch. Do you guys ever watch any Gary Stevenson? Gary Stevenson's one of my favorite guys. My big thing for the past 2, 3, 4 years has just been really pushing hard on understanding the economy, really pushing hard on understanding how the Federal Reserve works, how quantitative easing works, how inflationary rates affect, things like treasury yields, how the bond market works, how these all explain where the country is going and how things work, how the, $39 trillion debt works, how all of these things, are, telltale signs of where the country itself are going. And, one of the biggest things that's really, struck me is the idea of the K-shaped economy, and the fact that many people, I don't think, understand this, but middle-class Americans are actually on the lower K. They're on the lower leg of the K. If you're an upper middle-class American, you're hanging on to the top leg of the K, but just barely on the very bottom of it. And, that's became a real sticking point for me, because if you read Stephen Moran's white paper, Stephen Moran, formerly of the Federal Reserve, Trump's, one of his dudes that he got on the Federal Reserve Board, who just vacated it so that way Kevin Warsh could take it, because Jerome Powell did us all a solid and stuck there and said, nope, I'm going to hang out and make sure that you guys don't fuck this up. Stephen Moran's white paper literally says that middle-class Americans are going to have to pay the cost for him and Scott Bessent and Kevin Hassett and Donald Trump's plan to, try to deal with this debt. And, it's really unfortunate the way that this is happening, because the wealth gap is becoming larger and larger. and the K-shaped economy is becoming worse and worse. And if you're upper middle class and you're thinking to yourself, well, my head's above water, so I'm not that sad about the situation. Well, all it takes is you losing your job, or your wife losing your job, or somebody getting cancer, and you're on the lower leg of that K. And one of the people that I think that has been really good about speaking to this in a very easy to understand manner is Gary Stevenson. I really appreciate him. So let's watch this video.
If you are rich, or if you are super rich, you have a nice life, right? I've seen how you guys live, and I know how you live, right? It's nice. You guys get a lot of luxury, and it's cool. By pushing this further and further and further, and taking more and more and more, you are aggressively destabilizing the economies and political systems of the countries which you live in and which give you extreme luxury. What the f*** are you doing? It's enough. It's enough. We have these stories in history, I don't know how true they are, that, when the British elites got so rich, they eventually decided to do things like more philanthropy and, help set up the welfare state and help protect the poor. And for that reason, they were able to protect the political stability of the countries they lived in. Whereas the French elites, they didn't give anything back. They did all they let them eat cake and they get their heads chopped off. Look, I ain't trying to cut nobody's heads off. You've got enough. If you keep pushing, you will destabilize the countries that give you these enormous amounts of wealth. Look at what happened in history. Look at what happened in the 20th century. I'm not trying to redistribute wealth away from the rich. I am trying to stop the redistribution that is bankrupting ordinary people. Listen, I'm out here with my white flag up. I would accept a peace treaty. Let's stop it now. If you keep pushing under this system where you don't pay tax and the poor pay tax and you increasingly take everything and bankrupt everybody else, you will destroy the political stabilities of this country.
No. So yeah, what you have there is, Carnegie's a great example of that. Carnegie is one of those people that, as he got later in life, he realized, he better start giving to the poor and the middle class and build all these things. His name is Gary Stevenson, is from Gary's Economics 5-Alarm, and you see that with or with Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and these other people that there was this time, both in American and British history, where people recognized, I don't want to rule over ashes. I don't want to like living around a bunch of depressed and sad people and shit being bad. That's not, even being rich, that's not a fun time. And they realized that, and and they also realized that at one point or another, people were going to revolt, like what happened in France. And, people in France, they ate grape shot to the face to overthrow those kings. If you don't know what grape shot is, you should look up what grape shot coming out of cannon looks like. But they were willing to run at cannons that shot grape shot at them to overthrow the wealthy and take back their country and take back power. And, somebody said it the other day. They said people that don't work will accept being poor and being unhappy. But people that work 40, 50, 60 hours a week that then still can't pay their bills, that still don't get to take vacations, that still feel unhappy and overworked and stressed out, those are dangerous people. Those are people that, if you're wealthy, if you're rich, you should be scared of those people. All right, guys. That's about it for me tonight. I appreciate you guys all being here. Let's see. Vanderbilt too. Okay. It's a dude spitting realsies. Yeah. Check out Gary's Economics and also check out Barry's Economics. I like Barry's Economics as well, but Gary's Economics he's a real dude. And by the way, Gary is quite wealthy. He's a trader, and he made a lot of money. But he's one of those people that made a lot of money that recognizes it doesn't do no good to watch everybody else suffer. So, that's what I like to hear. You can have money. You can be rich. You can be wealthy. You can be a billionaire even, just as long as what you're doing is making sure that the people that helped you get there, the people that built the foundation for you to be able to like get that rich and be that person, as long as you're taking care of them too. Like that's what's important. If you don't take care of those people, eventually they'll take care of you. Tia, I do see yours. I said this just a little bit earlier to Jen. I'm not good with emails. I spend all day looking at emails for my job, and when I come home, I'm not great at answering, and I don't know. I need an assistant. I need an assistant. Redunk, you're going to be my assistant. Love and light, brother. Love and light. Yeah. Can she heat me in a pinch? Time will tell. All right, guys. Right now I'm just like hopping on whenever I have time, and I appreciate, and everybody should say thank you to my wonderful, amazing, awesome wife for letting me do this, and not being annoyed by listening to me over here cry and complain and bitch about the way the world is doing things, and laughing at Joe Rogan and his fucking guest cone heads. Hearing my terrible jokes. Anyways, appreciate you guys, and also, like I said, when I'm doing these videos, it's a little bit harder to make clips for the live clips channel because I'm not watching full videos and stuff. But I will try to do the other stuff, like I'll try to make some reaction videos for the funny live clips and stuff like that when I have time. All right, guys, I appreciate